Good morning, everybody. We're live here from the Birdhouse, and we are halfway through December. It is Tuesday, December 17th, and today I've got an update for you about some of the different birds people are seeing in the area and where you can go to see them and how you can best attract them to your backyard. As always, we love to know who's on. You can say hi in the comments. You can throw in any questions there, or if you've got sightings, absolutely throw them in there too. And we are open, of course, 7 days a week here at the store. We actually have our extended holiday hours going on. So Monday through Thursday, we're open until 8 p.m. So that goes on today, which is Tuesday, and then tomorrow as well. And then even Monday, the 23rd, will be open until 8 p.m. So we've got plenty of hours open for your shopping needs, and we're open all weekend long, and we're open 24/7 on thebirdhouseny.com. You can always visit there. We've got lots of stuff online for you to choose from, especially if you're looking for some birdie things or some seed. And we're offering free deliveries. So the deliveries are for the most part on Thursdays, although we've been sprinkling in some other ones throughout the week just to keep up with the flow. So if you are interested, you can shop online, and if you're local, we'll drop it off to you absolutely free. So you've got time to do that still as well. But we will get started here as always. Thank you guys for tuning in. Here, I'll take that little part off here. And yes, so also if you're local, we do still have some events coming up throughout the last couple days of the holiday shopping season. This Saturday, we are having another tasting with John John's Bakery, who make the world famous peanut butter balls. They will be here in the store between 10 and 1. So we've got that going on this Saturday, which is the 21st. We also have a book signing on the 23rd with David Calvitis, who does the Dot to Dot books. He's a local author, so we've got those going on too. And if you missed any of our author events, we still have their books in store, including Randy Minotaur's book. She was on the broadcast last Tuesday promoting her newest book, and we still have some of those in stock here. So another thing we have going on, you still have time to enter to win the Vortex Razor Scope that we are giving away. We're giving away a scope and a tripod, no purchase necessary. It's a $1,500 value, and all we need for that is you come in, give us your name and phone number, and you are entered in to win the drawing. So we've got that going on too. So stop on in, because that is we've got a few more days to enter that. That could make for a great holiday present for somebody. So we do have some different birds that are migrating through. I'll give you an update about some of the ones you can find in your backyard, and then also if you're out birding, some of the different birds you can find out by the shoreline, out by the water, or even out in the fields if you're looking for some of those birds that are more inland. So I'll give you an update on some of those as well. First of all, some birds to look for underneath your feeders and in your backyards. The white-throated sparrows. So if you have any kind of bird feeders, check for underneath the feeders for these little guys hopping around. We are in the range where they are here all year round, but they seem to be more common at feeders during the winter months. And you can look for them underneath your feeders, same as the white-crowned sparrow. The white-crowned sparrow. They are also most likely to be found underneath your feeders, cleaning up birdseed, cleaning up any kind of little things that have fallen on the ground or that have been thrown on the ground by other birds. So we're kind of in their migration range, but you can still see some of them around the area here. And same as the song sparrow. Song sparrows are not your most common backyard bird, but when the weather gets colder, you might happen to see them in your yard coming to bird feeders. Again, cleaning up underneath the bird feeders especially. Same with the fox sparrow. They tend to migrate through, but this is a good time to look for them. They're kind of a chunky little sparrow with a big belly. They're more robin size. They're more on that scale of size than they are, say, a house sparrow. So they're a larger size sparrow, and look for them underneath your feeders or underneath your shrubs. Sometimes they'll flick around leaves and debris looking for food, kind of like a northern flicker would. So if you hear something flicking around underneath some of your bushes or trees, take a look. It could be a fox sparrow. And of course, dark-eyed junco, the most common bird that you'll see underneath your bird feeders, are going to be this little guy. They have that dark back and that white belly and that little pink bill. We have cardinals here all year round. The key to getting cardinals is to give them a feeder that has plenty of perching room. So a nice tray feeder like on the left here, or a hopper feeder with large perches is a great way to attract them. They like black oil sunflower seed, safflower seed. We have a cardinal blend that they absolutely love called Cardinal Elite. And any of those are a great way to attract the cardinals to your feeders. Goldfinches. So we've been getting some scattered reports of goldfinches. Some people have a ton of them. Some people don't really have that many. They come to you Niger feeders. So they'll eat Niger. They'll eat the sunflower hearts. They love our finch favorite blend. There's a picture of that on the left there. That's a mix of the Niger seed and ground up sunflower hearts. So it's a little bit of all of their favorite foods right there in one spot. That is a super popular blend that we have. So if you're trying to attract finches, I would absolutely go with the finch favorite blend. And they're here all winter long. They're just not that bright gold that you're used to seeing in the spring and summertime. Also look for pine siskins. They're like a stripy version of a goldfinch with some yellow tones onto them. And here on the left, there's a picture of a pine siskin going to a feeder that has just the fine sunflower hearts in it. So they will eat the sunflower hearts as well. So they'll eat the same kind of things as your goldfinches will. So keep an eye out for both of those at your feeders. Same as the house finches. They are here all year round. You might see them at your Niger feeder or at your black oil sunflower seed feeder or eating safflower seed. They absolutely love safflower seed. And then there's also purple finches, which tend to be more common in the winter months. They are not going to have the same amount of stripes on them, at least the males don't, as the house finch. So sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the house finch and the purple finch. The house finches tend not to be as brightly colored and they have more striping. And the purple finch male does not have that same striping. They're also a little bit larger than the house finches and they have a bigger bill. And the striping on the female is much more darker and defined than it is in the female house finch. But look for them also on your safflower seed feeders and your black oil sunflower seed feeders this winter. And then some of the clinger birds you might start to see more often at your bird feeders once the temperature gets lower, once there's some snow cover. Things like tufted titmouse, they like peanuts. So here's a picture on the left of a tufted titmouse with a nice little peanut in the shell. They also like the peanut pickouts. So those are the insides of the peanuts. And they also will eat sunflower seed as well. But if you're looking for a little bit of something different to put out for your birds, peanuts are always great if you don't have them out already. Not only can you get the titmouse, you might get more black-capped chickadees because they absolutely love the peanuts. They'll also eat sunflower seeds and safflower and the sunflower hearts, but they love the peanuts. Those are their favorites. And you might also get things like the nuthatches. We've got two different types of nuthatches that you can look for this winter, the red-breasted and the white-breasted nuthatch. The white-breasted nuthatch, which is pictured here on the right, is going to be the more common of the two, but the red-breasted nuthatch does come in the wintertime more often than it does in the spring and summer. So you might happen upon those at your feeders too. So that the red-breasted nuthatch is on the left, and then the white-breasted is on the right here on these photos. And we've got our woodpeckers that are here during the spring and summer. You'll see them in the wintertime as well. So the red-breasted or the red-bellied woodpecker, the pileated woodpecker, which are pictured here. We've got the downy woodpecker, the hairy woodpecker. Northern flickers are more common at feeders in the wintertime. So make sure your suet feeders are full. If you're looking for a way to attract woodpeckers and nuthatches and chickadees, but not some of the other birds like starlings and sparrows, consider getting an upside down suet feeder. That's this that's pictured here on the left. And that is designed for the clinging birds that can cling upside down, but it makes it harder for birds like starlings and sparrows to feed from it. So you can shop. We've got these available in store and online. You can get them on our website. Carolina Wren will be here all winter long as well. I've been hearing them singing their little hearts out almost every morning in my backyard. They'll come to suet. They love sunflower hearts. You might see them just coming to your regular black oil sunflower seed. So we definitely have the Carolina Wrens here all winter long. You might see them popping in and out of your roosting pockets too. If you've got your roosting pockets out in your trees and shrubs, keep an eye out for the Carolina Wrens sticking their little heads out of those. So as far as feeders and attracting birds to your backyard in wintertime goes, we always suggest having some kind of a water source, and you can provide that with a heated bird bath this time of the year. Heated bird baths all plug in. They operate on a thermostat, so they don't make the water hot. They just keep the water unfrozen. So we have plenty of those in stock. And then you want to have some kind of a suet feeder, which is great for the woodpeckers, and a lot of other birds will come to them because it has a lot of fat in it. And that's a really good source of food for them in the winter months. They need that to keep them warm. Consider getting a peanut feeder if you want to give them a little bit of extra fat and protein. And then you always want to have your staples of the black oil sunflower seed feeder or a sunflower mix out there for the birds. That's the number one thing you want to provide. And then I would suggest highly keeping your Niger feeders out too, because those goldfinches are here all winter, and pine siskins will come to that as well, especially if you've got that finch favorite blend in it that is the mix of the Niger seed and the ground up sunflower hearts. As far as other birds to look out for, not necessarily birds in your backyard, but as you're out birding or out driving around scouting for birds, we have some different birds of prey that are known to be here in the winter, like the rough-legged hawk. This is a very northern species that will sometimes come down here in the winter months. And they're called rough-legged hawk because they have feathers that go all the way down to their feet. So here's a comparison of a rough-legged hawk with a red-tailed hawk. So they're about the same size. So if you see something that looks like a red-tailed hawk, but it size-wise, but the coloration looks different, could very well be a rough-legged hawk. On the left here is the red-tailed hawk. And if you look at the red-tailed hawk's feet, you can see their feet and legs don't have any feathers on them. But the rough-legged hawk, which is here on the right, you can see they do have these feathers that go almost all the way down their legs, all the way down to their feet. The coloration's, of course, going to be different too. The red-tailed hawks will normally have some kind of a reddish coloration on their tail. Sometimes it's very bright, sometimes it's not. They also have these little dark patches. They call them dirty armpits, right next to their body. That's a good way to identify that you've got yourself a red-tailed hawk. Whereas the rough-legged hawk does have dark patches under its wings, but they're much further down on the wing. So it's another way to identify them. They also are sometimes, they'll have this very dark belly band. So here's a picture of that right here. So keep an eye out for rough-legged hawks all winter long. Northern harrier, you can find them flying over marshes if they're unfrozen or over fields all throughout the winter. Northern harrier are sexually dimorphic, meaning the males and females look different from one another. So on the left is a grayish colored northern harrier. That's the male. The female is on the right, and she is more brownish in color. They both, however, do have what's called a white rump patch. That's this white spot right here, which is super visible if you can see them flying low over fields. Keep an eye out for that because they'll always have that. That's a really good identifying characteristic right there that you've got yourself a northern harrier. So this is the female here. This is kind of typical posture for them. They fly low over fields, and they're usually looking down for their prey items. So this is the female, and then this is what the male looks like. So they can be quite gray. So those are northern harrier. Keep an eye out for them this winter, especially if you're going out looking for short-eared owls because they are in the same type of habitat. Short-eared owls like wide open fields, and locally where they've been seen most locally is going to be the Buckland House, which is in Brighton. But check out eBird depending on where you are. There's different sightings that are being seen all throughout Western New York for short-eared owl. They come out around dusk, and they will also fly low over fields as they hunt for their prey items. So sometimes you can see short-eared owls and the northern harriers out during the same time. Sometimes they'll be out both hunting at the same time, and sometimes they don't get along very well, and they'll fight with one another. Snow buntings, another bird to look for out over fields. There's been some of them sighted this year. Horned lark, same kind of thing. If you're out looking, birding around the fields, keep an eye out for the horned lark as well. And snowy owls, we did have some sightings of snowy owls, not anything much of note lately. So they could have just been passing through, but especially if you're going out by the lake to look for waterfowl or look for gulls, always keep an eye out for those snowy owls. That's a really good place to see them. Some waterfowl that are around in the winter time, which I would highly recommend going to see, are going to be long-tailed ducks. They're really beautiful. They're just here for the winter. They usually form big rafts of many, many individuals, so you can see a whole bunch. They're a diving duck, so they'll dive under the water as they look for their food and then pop back up. So they can be really fun to watch. And then we have gulls here too. These are the three most common that I see when out birding. We've got the ring-billed gull, which you can find really in most parking lots, even around here, around most places. They're called the ring-billed gull because they have that black stripe that goes through their bill. We also have what's called a herring gull, which is larger than the ring-billed gull, and sometimes you can see them all in groups together. You'll notice the herring gull does not have that black stripe that goes through its bill. They do have a little red dot there that you can usually see on their bill, on the underside of their bill. So that's the herring gull. And another gull that we have here right now is going to be the great black-backed gull, which if you see them out in a mixed flock of other gulls, you'll know it right away. Their coloration is a lot darker, and they're quite a bit larger than the other gulls listed. So some kind of different birds to be out on the lookout for. And of course, bald eagle. If you are by any kind of open water, the bald eagle will stay here all winter long. So some places to go to look for some of these birds, if you're looking for some of the different waterfowl or gulls, all around Arundecoit Bay is always good. There's a place called LaSalle's Landing that's right off of Empire Boulevard. You can pull right on in there, and you can look out to see what kind of ducks and waterfowl and gulls are out there. It's a great place to go to look for bald eagle as well. If you go out there, chances of seeing bald eagle are very, very good most days, as long as the bay isn't iced over. And then any place along the lake shore, any place along Lake Road is fabulous for birding. If you can pull off any spots, you're probably going to be rewarded with some kind of bird activity. So a couple pictures here to show you too that were sent in by Mark J. Says, speaking of bald eagle, saw the subadult bald eagle at the Erie Canal Lock 32 Widewater. It was a cold day for birding, but definitely worth it. So here's bald eagle, not totally yet in its adult plumage, but you can see it is getting there. So it's got the mostly white head, mostly white tail. And then he says, saw a lot of robins around too, and also this fox. So some fox pictures there too. Really cool photos sent in by Mark. And then also this blue jay with the peanuts. Speaking of peanuts and attracting birds with peanuts, of course, the blue jays love the peanuts in their shell. That is their absolute favorite. So providing peanuts will not only get things like blue jays, but talking about the tufted titmouse and the chickadees and the nuthatches from before, they also love the peanuts. We do still have some of our top sellers in stock, both in person and online, including things like our birdseed wreaths. We still have plenty of those. If you are looking for a nice gift for somebody, we've got those in. We've got a lot of different feeders for sale, including these two, which have been really popular. They're only $21.95. They keep out the squirrels, and they're really good for the small birds like goldfinches and chickadees and nuthatches. So both of these have been super popular. You can look, if you're shopping online, you can look in our squirrel proof section of our online shop for those. And we have plenty of window feeders in still, lots of different types of window feeders. And yesterday we got a brand new shipment in of some of our best-selling Flaming Hot seed. So our Mr. Bird Flaming Hot Feast loose seed that you can pour in any kind of feeder to keep the squirrels out. And the same with the seed logs. We just got a whole bunch more of those in. And if another great gift item, which we also have online and in person, are going to be our blown glass ornaments by the Cobain Studio. We also have Old World Christmas ornaments, but all of these are available online for shopping as well. So really gorgeous blown glass bird ornaments. We have a lot of people that will buy a new bird every year for their tree, and we have a lot of different types to choose from, so you can check those out as well. And we just got another shipment in of our Beak View cameras. This is actually from my backyard. This is the these are the bird feeders with the camera inside, and so they will send you notifications when you've got birds coming to your backyard. If you want it to identify the birds for you, it has that kind of technology in it too. So we have a brand new shipment of these, just came back in stock also. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, you can absolutely put them in the comments section. Steel Monkey is on, says that is a beautiful picture of a blue jay. So that's the one with the peanut that we had up earlier. This one right here. I feed them peanuts every morning. They are my all-time favorite bird. To see their colors in the snow, it's breathtaking. So Steel Monkey loves that picture there of the blue jay with the peanut. Can't blame them. Let's see. Steel Monkey says, have a wonderful holiday, Liz. Your birdhouse videos are all I need for Christmas. What a wonderful source of information for birding. You are very welcome. We are starting to plan our calendar for next year, believe it or not, already. So we'll continue these broadcasts throughout 2025 as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you are local, absolutely stop in this week. We definitely appreciate your business, and we gift wrap for free. So you can't go wrong with that. If you're not local, consider going online to our website, which is thebirdhouseny.com. Don't forget, we're doing free delivery if you're local through the 23rd. So we are going to be hustling and bustling over here definitely for the next week. But we appreciate it, and we appreciate your time, and we appreciate your business. And we'll be back on Saturday with another broadcast. So until then, have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.